Now, the Holy Quran and Bible describe the crucifixion of the Messiah as a monumental event that extends beyond his person. It reverberates throughout his community, throughout the land where his people are enslaved, and throughout the world. Well, how so? Again, in the Gospels, Jesus describes the events prophesied to take place during the end of the Messiah's presence among us, which is the end of this satanic world, which again didn't take place 2,000 years ago. Now, Jesus states regarding a few of these events, and then shall many be offended and shall betray one another and shall hate one another. Jesus also states in the Gospel of Mark, and Jesus saith unto them, all ye shall be offended because of me this night. For it is written, I will smite the shepherd, and the sheep shall be scattered. Jesus makes this statement to the disciples after they complete what is known as the Last Supper, where he speaks about being betrayed by one of his disciples. Now, what does offend mean? Here, offend is a perception of the one who claims to have been offended. You've offended me. This person feels that they have been grievously wrong, even if the one accused of offending that person is unaware of it. Now, this happens all the time. It may have happened to you. You offended me? What? How did I do that? You didn't know that you did it, because we're dealing with one's perception, which may or may not be the truth or true intention of the one charged with doing the offending. So in this verse or prophecy, Jesus is not saying that he will offend the disciples. He's not saying that. He's not saying that. He's saying the disciples will perceive that he has caused them inordinate grief, maybe arising from their persecution. We can't grieve over persecution. By reason of the circumstances involving how he is smitten by his enemies. So the way his enemies smite him, and the results of that, some of his disciples will perceive it as being offended. He offended me. It's a heck of a thing. Somebody would say that, but you're not talking about the person who smoked me. It's like somebody being punched in the face and you mad at the one got punched in the face, but you don't have nothing to say to the one that punched him in the face. You know why? Because some of you just love white people to death. Whatever they say is the gospel, all their lies and tricks and schemes. So no, you won't go there. That's too big for you. Let me exercise my self-hatred and come down on my brother, the Messiah, who's proven to be the greatest friend that I've ever had. So yes, stiff-hearted people. At least God told the Messiah what he was up against. I'm sending you to a rebellious house. So don't expect anything but trouble trying to bring these people along. And they're stiff-necked and hard-hearted. So you got your work cut out for you. But I want to set expectations right now before I send you there that you're not going to people who are civilized and can think intelligently. Not yet. You have to help them out in that way. So this scattering caused by the synagogue of Satan's attack on the Messiah will lead many to break ranks with him. And even though, according to the Gospels, all of the disciples previously claimed that they would never do this, Jesus knew they would. He knew they would leave him. He said it. because of their lack of knowledge and understanding about his relationship with the Father and what the Father required of him. That's the target of how they smite the Messiah. So again, this is prophecy. It is not history. But what has Allah required the Messiah to do? Let's raise that question. For some of you that think you know, what has Allah required the Messiah to do? That because of our lack of understanding of that, we would be offended and turn away from him. As we say when we were young, answer me that question. Allah required the Messiah to do that which makes him the Messiah. And what is that? It is the Messiah's fulfillment of key aspects of the biblical and Quranic narratives of the prophets. So if you don't know this, you don't know him. And if you ain't listening to me, you don't know this. I'll just tell you straight up on that point. Because I'm directly from Allah, from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And I've made that clear since my inception on this mission. So some of you try to dodge that, like I'm here of my own. But you can't find anything that I have said that I don't connect to my assignment from and guidance by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So if you get people who are dumb enough to listen to your slander of me, then so be it. Allah makes people. He's making them every day. My task is a clear delivery of the message. He'll decide whom he wants to believe in it or not, meaning Allah. He may not want you to believe in it. We need negative and positive forces to make motion. You might be just a negative force.